Hello everyone, welcome to GoTarryn TV today. Tarryn the Traveling Trainer, aka Professor T of Georgia State University. As you can tell, I just got back from downtown teaching on campus, and now I'm here at GoTarryn Central about to do a video blog and interview the very beautiful Ms. Asiya Khasnutdinova of Valio Dance and Fitness. But before we get to her, I would really love to encourage everyone out there to please make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And while you're watching today's interview show with Asiya, if you'd be so kind as to leave us a comment, like the video, and share it with all of your friends. And that way you'll learn more about Valio Dance and Fitness, the interview with Asiya Khasnutdinova. She is my favorite guest, and she's also, by the way, the guest of the year from last year of 2016. Today I'm going to talk to her, ask her how her New Year's going, how she's enjoying the spring weather, some of the new endeavors with wedding season. It's here, and teaching all of her folks about wedding dancing and all the choreography that she offers and everything else that she does with Valio Dance. You don't want to miss that. So again, when we return, we're going to be having Asiya from Valio Dance and Fitness. And remember, with GoTarryn Personal Training, Professor T, Tarryn the Traveling Trainer, always tells each and every one of you that it's your time, it's your investment, it's your life. We'll be right back, folks. All right, folks, we're back, and as you can see side by side, we're welcoming to GoTarryn TV once again my favorite guest. In fact, she's the 2016 Guest of the Year of GoTarryn TV. There's Ms. Asiya Khasnutdinova. Asiya, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks. How are you, Tarryn?
Very good, thank you. And again, it's always a pleasure having you on. I guess we haven't talked since that last time officially, although we've met up and we've done a few things together here in the new year of 2017, just to catch everybody up. The last time I saw you, together in a work capacity, besides Family Life Center, was at Georgia State University. That's where Asiya attained her master's degree. And for the folks out there who are watching, let's catch them up if they didn't, get the video clips. Asiya, can you tell the folks out there about the experience of coming out there and lecturing and doing Valio Dance as a demo to the students, please?
Absolutely. No, Tarryn, thank you so much for inviting me. It was such a pleasure meeting your students and talking to them about starting a new fitness program and how to keep it fun, how to keep it different, and just how to keep them motivated. It was definitely a great experience. I think they loved it. I enjoyed it. So definitely would love to come back if you guys would have me back.
Yeah, certainly, Asiya, we would, and that's the feedback I received from the students, that they absolutely loved it. It was a lot of fun. The folks can see the video clips, and we posted it. We'll also tag it on this video, so in case they missed it. But they can always go to your website. They can contact you on Facebook and see some of the clips as well. But it was a phenomenal job, and again, I got to thank you. And in fact, Asiya, I'll tell you this. I just found this out recently. I'll be teaching a Georgia State class for the summer semester at Family Life Center starting in June. So there'll be an opportunity there. Yeah, we're actually going to teach it there on site at Family Life Center from early June to late July. So I'm going to be coming up to you again and asking you to possibly team up again and do something similar.
And I think that way you guys get actually a full experience, not just a short little demo.
That would be great. Yeah, that would be terrific. And I'll give you the information, Asiya. I know it's going to be an afternoon class, so that might even be better. Who knows? Maybe time-wise, we'll take a look at that. So for the folks watching, again, I'll get more information on that as well, too. So it's a lot of fun. And here we are, Asiya. We've it feels like spring outside, although technically I guess we're still in winter right now. So I know that even before we started recording today, I was going to tell you and have you on. We're going to talk about workouts now in the warmer weather, and we're also getting some other information about people's lifestyles, their habits, their daily rituals, going out and eating and drinking.
Sure.
And then also I do want to ask you some questions about your business and what's going on with wedding couples and wedding dance choreography that you're doing right now. But before we even jump into it, Asiya, here we are. It is late February, and this is now the critical time. As you know, research will show that at this point, the New Year's resolution folks who have come to the gym has just plummeted. And at Family Life Center, we've seen that. It's dead. I just came from there, in fact, training a client there, and my client and I were the only ones in the whole fitness facility working out. It was amazing. So I guess the first question I have for you, Asiya, before we jump into it, what's your observations on New Year's resolutions? Have you seen the folks kind of plummeting, or is it the same, or what is it in your viewpoint?
maybe just one thing to kind of one little comment to what you said. The only reason, or I'm hoping maybe the reason people are not inside the Family Life Center, hopefully they're outside because the weather is just so incredibly beautiful.
Yes.
So, let's not completely write them off and, just put them into that category of people that broke their New Year resolutions. But
Good point.
I think for me, I find it's fairly consistent. I don't think anybody has officially, dropped. I think there are naturally people have lives. There's travel, there's work. I think more and more travel. Wedding season is starting, so different events, bachelorette parties, everything is. It just feels like everybody's kind of waking up and things are happening. So I think there is just life in general. I don't think it's necessarily people lost motivation, or at least I like to think that that's not the case. So I think for me, it's been fairly consistent.
That's really good news. That's very hopeful. And, I see you teaching Valio dance at the Mutual Fitness Center that we're teaching a lot. It looks like you've got a lot of really good ladies in there working out hard. And, as we talked about at Georgia State, you did the Valio demo, kind of scratched the surface and showed some of the things that you could do for those students. And they loved it. And one of the things I thought was profound, what I found interesting, was a couple of the guys in the class were actually telling me that they really enjoyed it, and they, wouldn't necessarily be intimidated just because it was all females. But I guess that's something that you and I never really, I guess I never asked. I was curious, but what would you say would be the, ratio, or what you've been used to percentage-wise, of males and men taking Valio dance class?
In my group dance fitness classes?
Sure,
I would
yeah.
say it's about 100% females. Every once in a while, there's one guy, one friend or husband or boyfriend or somebody else. But for the most part, it's pretty much 100% women.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think that's interesting. But I think certainly that, again, observing a couple of those guys, you probably remember, Asiya, that were taking the class when you were doing it. They absolutely loved it, and they were very curious about it. So I guess there's something there for sure if you were to open and market it.
I feel like there is a stereotype, and especially among men,
Yeah.
that once they see the word dance, it's just alarm goes off, and it's almost like a block. And then second thing, maybe they underestimate the intensity a little bit, and they feel like unless they're bench pressing, 200 pounds, or they're running and swimming the river, like they don't quite feel like they're getting the workout. And I actually find that I've had over 5-6 years several men come in and drop in for the class, and you can see them out of breath and really admiring all the women around them who are kind of pushing through and going at it. And I think their stereotypes kind of slowly start breaking down. So, to those men who feel that it's not going to be as intense or it's not going to be as challenging, I definitely challenge them to come join us and give it a try. And I think they're going to have a fun time. Plus, they're going to get all the attention from the women side.
That's a good point, Asiya. I fall into that category. I'm guilty of it. Not so much of thinking it's going to be too easy. It's the first part, what you were saying, in my regard, of just I'm very uncoordinated, and I was tempted to try it that day when you came, but then again, I had my tie and pants on, so I probably would have looked even worse and like a klutz.
Lots of excuses. Gotta give it a try.
I have a lot of excuses, but I will be up there. In fact, Asiya, I told when the other woman who interviewed you that time with Direct Talk, my co-host Di, when she's out of town, but she comes back in, she did mention she wants to come to the Family Life Center and do the class, and I promised her, and I promised you last time too, that if she did, I would take it. So I will. I'm serious. You're going to see me up there. Yeah. So she comes back.
What? Kind of going back to those New Year resolutions and things like that. Remember how we always say you want to set a specific goal, specific date?
Yeah.
So I think the best thing to do is if you actually pick a date, put it in the calendar, so that way you guys are not going to get out of that one.
There you have it. No excuses. I think that's a good idea. Well, as soon as we're done with the video blog today, I'm going to call her up because she's coming back from out of town, and we'll set a date. We'll just go ahead and figure out what time. Dacia, when are the classes? Just for us to know again.
Group dance fitness classes are Monday night at 6,
Okay.
Wednesday at 7, and then Saturday at 10 a.m.
Gotcha. Okay, perfect. Okay, and everybody knows where that's at as well. They'll have the information. But while we're talking about it too, why don't we get a chance? How is the app going? The Valio app that's available.
Yeah, I mean, it's going great. I think a lot more people are using it to sign in. We have lots of different promotions. We had promotion for Valentine's Day. It's a one-stop. It's a one-stop shop. You know, you can access schedule. You can make your purchases. You can access online workout videos, so just social media. So it's just everything conveniently in one place.
That's excellent. Let's definitely get the people to download it, and it's a free download as well, Asiya.
It's a free download. Yep. It's a free download. You can get it for iPhones, iTunes, or Android, Google Play.
Right there, you have it.
So Valio Dance.
There you go. Perfect. Excellent. That's really good. Now, let me ask you this, Asiya. We're going back to the healthy lifestyle because let's just use, let's go on the topic of drinking for a second. Now, we know that February is National Heart Awareness Month. Cardiovascular disease, #1 killer in America by far. And a lot of times we hear conceptions like, well, you know, a glass of wine or red wine is pretty good for our heart every day, and that's fine. But what do you see in observations about people who are drinking too much, or if they're tempted, they go out drinking? Because the reason why I ask you that, I have clients and I have friends, and it's a lot of peer pressure times, like, hey, let's go out, there's a wine tasting, and then
Plus now with all this patio weather.
Yes, exactly.
Like, definitely.
Right, exactly.
It's incredibly tempting.
Yeah, absolutely. It's very tempting, and you go to those wine tastings. So what is your advice on people if they're going to, like, let's say a party, or like you said, you know, there was Valentine's Day. Now we're already getting ready for St. Patrick's Day. That's a big party drinking time. Any of these...
It's going to be Memorial Day, and then it's going to be July 4th.
Right.
And never ending, yeah.
There's always something. Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's definitely, it's kind of too broad of a topic, you know, to tackle it in just a few sentences. But I mean, first of all, my take on everything health, fitness related, you know, food, nutrition, you know, you eat to live. And same thing, you exercise to live. So I'm always, you know, everything is good in moderation. You know, anything that's becoming a little bit too fanatical, I tend to I don't want to say disagree with it, but I think in certain cases it can get a little bit too fanatical. So, for example, you know, it seems like there are a lot of social functions, again, with patio weather, you know, happy hours, family gatherings, everything else. I mean, naturally, alcohol is probably going to come up. I would hate for people to miss out on those functions, basically miss out on life, just because they're worried about the calories or something else. So from that standpoint, you know, I definitely don't encourage anybody to completely skip out on the social aspect, because I mean, that's what life is about, interacting, relationships, and if alcohol happens to be a part of it, great. I just think it's about wise consumption and, you know, using in moderation. I always advise, well, let me a couple of things. In terms of what drink to choose, you know, you have certain options. They're not going to be healthier, but maybe at least damaging. You know, glass of wine, glass of white wine. You know, you have all these different things, types of wine, from sweet to dry to I don't know, champagnes. Stick with wine. Stick with the same kind of drink. Mixed drinks typically tend to be sweeter, you know, especially if you're talking margaritas, mojitos. I don't know, I'm not that big on drinking mixed drinks, but you typically want to stick with clear liquor. So
that's a good point. You're right.
Space them out, you know, obviously water in between. You know, I mean, we all know snacking, so that way you don't go too heavy, you know, right from the get-go. Also, what you want to do is pace yourself a little bit, you know, because it's not so much even the calories in the calories of the drink that you're drinking, a lot of times, one, two, three drinks, then, you know, everything kind of starts getting a little bit blurry. So decision making also suffers a bit. So, if you didn't have anything to drink, you may choose one thing to have, as a snack. Two, three drinks in, it's almost like anything goes, and it's a little bit harder to keep yourself in check. So I think that would be but it's again, it's such a general recommendation. I mean, and ultimately, if you can if you can socialize without having to necessarily drink, so you don't have to socializing doesn't equal drinking. You can do so many other things. Sometimes it's almost like it's a safety net of having to hold something in your glass. Well, instead of going for alcohol, you can do sparkling water with a lime in a wine glass. So you still feel like you're holding something. So it's even just that, that one nuance psychologically. So lots of different things. But one thing that I would advise, definitely don't skip out on life just because of the calories or just because something else. At the end of the day, it's one day. We all make those little exceptions, and you just move on and pick it up the next day.
That's a very good point, Asiya. And also I'll say this, that just to add on to that, as you know, it's how we were brought up, it's how our families raised us. Yeah. So having said that, you were raised by a very brilliant woman, and your mother, is just phenomenal. I'm still wanting to interview her sometime in the future here. And how is she doing? And how's her new year going? Just out of curiosity.
Her new year is doing great. She's working a lot. She's working at the Piedmont Healthcare.
Mm-hmm.
She's good. She's doing well. I'll tell her you said hello and that you would like to talk to her as well.
Yeah, if she's watching right now, please, let's have you come on. And I see her all the time. She's dedicated. She's one of your best loyal participants in Valio Dance. So I got to give her credit on that. That's excellent. Well, how about this, Asiya? Let's transition for a little bit here. Before we get to talking about other stuff, let me ask you, how has your new year gone, too? Did you have any resolutions that you were working on for 2017?
I don't, I'm not big on the resolution that all of a sudden, the Monday or January 1st, something changes.
Right.
I don't think there was something in particular that, that right at midnight I was like, okay, that's it. Hold my breath. That's what 2017 is going to be about. Mm-hmm. I think maybe a little bit more general, building relationships and spending more time with the family, more travel, more maybe work-life balance. And I saw your video last time. I think it's those maybe general things, but I don't think it's the one, one particular one specific, no.
No, that's good. Yeah, well, I got to say, you're always doing really well, and that's excellent that you're doing so good. And so for 2017 also, you told me that right now you are super swamped with wedding couples because this is now officially, we're getting into the wedding season.
We're getting into the wedding season, yes.
So tell us about that, please, Asiya. How's that been going?
You know what? It's going great. So many couples. Typically March, April kind of kicks off the wedding season. So we have lots and lots of couples, lots of different song choices, ideas, choreographies, from surprise dances. So it's a fun experience to be a part of. It's very rewarding, and seeing their happy faces and kind of knowing that you're helping send them off in this orbit of marriage. It's definitely it's exciting, and it's fun. Every couple is unique, every couple is different, and I think that's what keeps it interesting and exciting.
That's excellent. Can you tell the folks out there watching, just out of curiosity, maybe they're interested in getting some private lessons, but, where do you teach the private choreography at, and how do they get in touch with you to be able to do that too?
Same way. Same place, Valio Dance Studio, 2715 Peachtree Road, inside the Family Life Center. Private lessons, they can always do individual lessons. If they're looking to do something maybe more consistent, maybe more continuous, they could do several or they can choose from several packages. One small thing, kind of shout out to the brides. We are rolling out the Bachelorette Dance Fitness party, so it can be different themes.
Nice.
Beyonce, Magic Mike, you name it, stilettos. So something that we're definitely excited about and looking forward to.
Perfect. That is wonderful. And they don't call Family Life Center. They call you directly to get that schedule.
Correct. But they call me directly. It's 404-513-3334. And all information is on the website and on the app as well.
Yeah, perfect. That's excellent. Of course, the website, www.valeoclub.com, which we'll have at the end. We always do. And that's terrific, Asiya. Again, this is definitely the season for that. Are you enjoying the earlier spring temperatures that we're receiving outside?
Absolutely. I was just actually talking with my parents, with my family.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even feel like we actually had winter. It just seems like it's just been so nice and beautiful. I can't believe it. It's absolutely gorgeous outside.
It truly is. You're right. Yeah. And the only thing that I'm worried about, we talked about this before we started recording, but I've been trying to not cough as much. I'm doing pretty well, I think, in this blog. That's why I always have my water next to me. But
Yeah.
I have a very bad exercise-induced asthmatic cough that makes me, lack of a better word, cough pretty much all the time. And it's because of this pollen count that we're getting outside. And one of my students had asked, because I was going to do a class at Piedmont Park, and she was just mentioning, well, I can't go there. And I said, why? And she said, because the pollen really makes my allergies bad and I can't breathe. And I appreciated that. I told her, I said, you know what? That's a good point. So we canceled. We were not going to go there to the Piedmont Park. I didn't think about that. But one of the advantages, I was thinking about this with you, is that for folks who can't get their workout outside because of bad allergies, or if it's bad weather, if it's raining and pouring and their class gets canceled or whatever, they don't have to worry about that with you because you've got the luxury of that beautiful facility at Family Life Center. And
Absolutely.
yeah.
And obviously, if it's raining outside, it's pouring sweat inside our studio, so they can always come and join.
Yeah. Yeah, and I love it because, again, it's plenty of space. There's free parking. There's plenty of open parking for the folks who know. It's in Buckhead. It's right there. I encourage everybody watching, if you haven't done one class yet, for sure you need to. And also, I encourage them to check out your YouTube video channel because, Asiya, your YouTube views, you have like several videos that are almost 1 million, some that are over as well, if I'm not mistaken.
We have one that's over 2 million.
2 million. Oh, my God. Wow.
Almost 25,000 subscribers. So
That's amazing. Wow. That's incredible. I have so much to learn from you, Asiya. That's wonderful. You're doing it right. So, I mean, that's the thing. Content is king, so you definitely have quality content, and that is just, it goes without saying. Absolutely. Well, Asiya, I appreciate your time. I know I'm looking at the clock very closely. I know I'm happy we were able to finally get this arranged and get you in here, and I know you got to get going. You got a tight schedule. But yes, what are the plans for the rest of the weekend, and I guess for the last final weekend of February?
You know what? Actually, I mean, the last week of each month, I start getting or finalize all the choreography for new month because every single month we start out with all brand new choreography. So that's pretty much going to be my weekend, and then the Oscars. That's
okay.
exciting.
There you go.
And just enjoying this beautiful weather.
Excellent. That sounds like a plan. And I guess I'll probably see you later this evening then at Valio at the Family Life Center then for the next time.
Okay.
Yeah, that'll be perfect. Well, again, Asiya, it's always a pleasure. This is the reason why you were last year's Guest of the Year, why you're my favorite person to interview. You're just so pleasant, and just every time I talk to you, it's just the time flies by like that. It's so quick. I can't believe this went by so quickly today. Absolutely. So my pleasure. So Asiya, again, keep up the great work. Definitely going to be contacting you for the summer semester to come in and do another guest speaking and guest demo at Family Life Center for Georgia State. So we'll look forward to that. All right. Well, thank you, Asiya. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have fun with the Oscars and enjoying this beautiful weather. And for the folks watching, as we fade to black, we're going to have Valio Dance Fitness on the screen with the app information as well. All right. Thanks, Asiya.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.